From the creators of Relevant Magazine, this is the Relevant Podcast.
I cannot tell who is my friend. I need distance between me and them. Gonna have to teach me how to love you again. God knows I'm trying. God knows I'm trying for you. God knows I'm trying.
It's the week of Friday, June 9th, 2017, and it's the Relevant Podcast. I'm your host, Cameron Strang, and this week's show is brought to you by HelloFresh.
Hello.
HelloFresh is the meal kit delivery service that makes cooking more fun so you can focus on the whole experience, not just the final plate. Each week, HelloFresh creates new delicious recipes with step-by-step instructions designed to take around 30 minutes for everyone from novices to seasoned home cooks, short on time. I cook HelloFresh at least 3 nights a week, including last night. Yeah. I've never done it in 30 minutes. I don't think it ends up right. I'm not overcooking stuff, but I'm a solid 45 minutes in before dinner's ready.
Because you got to walk away, go out back, let everything catch on fire, come back inside. You got stuff
I'm just saying that every week they say 30 minutes, and I'm going, what am I doing wrong? Because it ends up delicious. Maybe I'm just more...
My box just got here today, man. I'm excited to try it.
Will you time it? Let us know.
Time it, yeah. Maybe I'm slower at mincing than they expect. Maybe I'm below average in my chopping skills.
We'll do an over-under with me trying it and then with my wife trying it.
Yeah.
Because of
it says somewhere in between will be a half hour is what you're saying. Almost will probably be in the 12-minute range. You're going to be pushing an hour.
It's so annoying. You marry somebody that's literally excellent at everything and then doesn't do it because she just don't feel like it. I'm like, you're the better cook, but she don't feel like cooking.
But she's like so smart, she can like mince with her mind. Like there's things that will happen that you can't do.
She minces my words in her mind all the time.
Hi-yo!
HelloFresh sources the freshest ingredients measured to the exact quantities needed, so there's no food waste, which is one of my favorite things about it. They deliver food to your doorstep in a recyclable insulated box for free, which is Cohen's favorite thing because he plays with this huge box. And they're now offering light spring meals and just actually introduced breakfast options, HelloFresh. And that's all for less than $10 a meal.
Once again, Jesse Carey, please get HelloFresh. Your diet is appalling.
I do need HelloFresh in my life.
Yeah.
Right now, HelloFresh is offering Relevant Podcast listeners a special offer. You can get $30 off your first week of deliveries by visiting HelloFresh.com and entering offer code RELEVANT30 when you subscribe. I would highly suggest it. It has changed my evening rituals and eating. I used to just eat like I would roll up bologna, squirt some mayonnaise on it, and just sit down and watch TV.
Classic.
Hello, Dad.
Now I'm literally like eating gourmet meals.
And mayonnaise, bro.
Oh, dude.
Yeah, but the problem with your whole theory is, and you've said this a few times, is that it's not like you somehow had just very awful taste in food and then it got really good. Because I was like, even when before
I know what quinoa is now.
Right.
Yeah.
Before HelloFresh existed in your life, you still knew like a grocery store.
Yeah, but here's why I need HelloFresh, because I like it. Like if Dana is gone or out of town or something, not only does my food selections get dangerously sloppy, I also forego any dishware, and I'm only using paper towels for every utensil. My plate is a paper towel. My spoon is a paper towel. I find a way. I don't want any cleanup. HelloFresh could help me with this problem.
Your spoon's a paper towel, Doug. You guys
I'm just scooping stuff with folded paper towels. It's quite the situation.
That's the bologna theory.
The bologna. So I pull the piece of bologna out, put it in the palm of my hand, squirt a little mayonnaise down the middle, and roll it up like a hot dog.
Boom. Fam, you don't even fry the bologna?
Nah, no waste. No pans. Just
takes too long.
In and out.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, fry the bologna. I want you to go back to that time just so you can experience a fried bologna sandwich.
Dude, they are so good.
Really?
Oh, yeah. They're way good.
Yes. I assume you have to eat it on white bread, though.
I think so, yeah.
I don't have any white
that's
bread.
all we had.
No.
You don't eat it on white bread?
You can have it on whole wheat with like organic mayonnaise.
Hey, man, first of all, mayonnaise is of the devil, so I'm going to keep ignoring that you say that.
Yeah.
But
Yellow
what
mustard,
you can do is get yourself, here's next level, is get yourself a waffle. And you just put the fried bologna with waffle buns.
Oh, come on now. I think HelloFresh is listening. That needs to be a future
We need to
option.
hire you, man.
I gotta say, that sounds amazing.
Although HelloFresh has a couple of dietitians on staff to make sure every meal is nutritionally balanced, I don't think they're going to go with props waffle and fried bologna.
No, they're all sitting in the room right now, and it's just like, and they're like, no, what just was said? That can't
Not
happen.
even close.
Get to Propaganda's house immediately. You can't do this.
Well, like I said, I'm your host, Cameron. Here with me in our Orlando studios, Eddie Big Hat Koffoltz.
Hello, Cameron.
Over there on the ones and twos, our illustrious producer, my brother, Chandler Strang. Hello. On the Skype line from Leverland, Virginia, Jesse Carey.
Hello, hello.
And our guest cast member, our guest host this week, sitting in for the whole show from Los Angeles, Propaganda.
West.
Cool.
Hey, we have a great show in store for you guys today. If you're listening on Friday, the day the show comes out, today, Hillsong United's new album, Wonder, just dropped. And they are joining us on the show today to play us some of kind of their favorite tracks from the new album.
What was on Apple?
Yeah.
Was it just a single?
Yeah, they've been releasing a couple of singles.
Nice, very good.
When they announced it 2 weeks ago, they released a song. And then last Friday, they released a song. And then the whole album's today. So there you go.
I mean, it's not as good as that Spanish Justin Bieber song, but I'm sure it's wonderful.
It's just as worshipful.
Yeah, I agree.
is.
I'm wondering what they're saying because I was kind of singing it in the grocery store the other day.
Yeah.
Under my breath.
Or the Bieber song.
The Bieber song.
Yeah. You know what Hillsong's
And I don't,
saying.
and I was aware of myself doing this because a Hispanic young man was standing next to me, and I thought, I wonder what I'm saying right now.
Yeah, probably wise just to kind of fade into the
Just,
background.
it just faded into Wonder by Hillsong United.
Yeah.
That's
Very
right.
sultry.
Yeah.
Just whistle.
Were you?
Yeah.
Hey, I got a question, Cameron. When you were doing that, were you making deep eye contact with him? Because I don't know if language. I think that it broke any language barriers. You just creeped him out with the eye contact.
The eye contact. Also joining us later, Jason Fileta is joining us. He's from the organization Micah Challenge, which is an organization engaging climate change from a Christian perspective. We're going to talk to him about the news about the U.S. pulling out of the Paris Climate Agreement, also the link between extreme poverty and climate change and how people can help. And get
Very
involved.
important.
Yeah, absolutely.
I like Micah, the Micah organization a lot. The Micah Challenge. They're killer.
I mean, talk about a timely show.
Timely.
Brand new album coming out only today.
Yep.
And hard-hitting, timely news. And
Yeah.
in kind of a think discussion about
Yeah.
what's going on.
And I'll be bringing
Yeah.
a slice that has its origins about 6 years ago. So
Oh, that's exciting.
So-
You're bringing the Joy Egger to me.
Well, and not to give too much away about the Jason Fileta interview, but he was actually in Paris when leaders from around the world were meeting at this UN agreement to sign this Paris Treaty.
Was he there
that
like on his
recent-
honeymoon, like just sightseeing? He was at the Louvre.
Yeah, I mean, he's just he told me he all of his major life events are centered around UN happenings, especially with him and his wife. It's pretty romantic, pretty special thing they got
He's got
going
a big
on.
anniversary trip coming up, the UN summit in Portugal next spring.
Yeah, it's a big deal.
yeah.
You know, it's kind of a cute thing they have. But anyway, so he has a really interesting perspective on not only what's going on with the Paris Climate Agreement, but also about how we can be involved in the issue.
There you go.
Prop, are you drinking 2 coffees? Are you drinking?
Why do you say that?
We were delayed starting the recording because there was an enormously loud static on the line, and
Yes.
which I was informed.
you grinding.
This is Prop. He's off grinding some beans.
Right, which he's got
Yes.
he's got the mug in his hand, but I also saw you drinking what I thought was cold
Have you
brew.
noticed that his mug is the size of a cereal bowl?
It's a healthy mug, but you also had a clear mason jar. Did that have cold
Yeah,
brew
that's
in
what
it?
I made it in,
Oh, I see.
and then I poured it into a mug. I didn't see why that's.
I thought
why
you were
that's
double
such a
fisting.
revolutionary concept.
I thought you were double fisting. I thought you were doing a cold brew and a hot one, and I didn't know.
No,
Well, 'cause
I,
he's
ran
an-
my
he
Khalid
likes
on this,
averages.
and I know apparently last week y'all talked about my practices.
Quite
All
a
I'm
bit.
saying is,
Jesse did.
Yeah.
if you can be,
Yeah.
if you can have a better version of something,
Yes,
have a better version of something.
that's right.
So
Yeah, that's why you're on the show. Because it's awesome to have you here. It was a compliment.
cleanup.
So own that propaganda.
I thank you.
If you can have a better version of something, just have a better version of something. Those are words
Yeah,
to live
wow,
by.
that's profound,
Quote it.
Eddie.
I hope that is on your new album. That's the
It
title of
is
the new
not.
album. Just here's a better version
that's
of
a-
Eddie,
something.
Eddie, one day I want you to come up with very clunky accessories. If you can have a better version, why not create a better version of the version that you have so it's better? So it's a better version of that version.
Hang in
It'll
there.
fit perfectly on a
Right.
poster.
Right.
Hang in there while you're hanging. Don't let go.
Right.
Keep holding on to the thing you're hanging on to.
Never stop believing in the things you're hanging on to.
Yeah. Before we move the show along, a little bit of an update. On Friday night, I got a text from Prop, and he said you should have been here, and I was like, "Where are you?"
He wasn't.
He was shooting his new music video.
Oh, neat.
And he invited me
Yes.
to come be in the background, and I
It's just your
didn't. And
thing
I
now.
didn't come. I forgot.
Oh man.
Prop,
So,
can you-
so my streak is over at 1 of Cameron
Already.
being the
One and
one
out.
white guy in the background of hip hop videos.
what?
Rob,
how-
I got a question for you real quick. Did you have to cast his spot like at the very last minute and just
Did
pull
you have to
some
go find
rando out of
another
the
random
grocery
white
store?
guy?
I did. I had to
Put
go
on
find
Sam
another white
Craigslist.
guy.
I feel eminently replaceable, and it hurts me.
well, yeah.
Kind of hurts me that you're not in my video though.
I know, me too. Next one.
Well, how'd it go? Are you happy with it?
I've honestly, no gas. I feel like this is probably going to be the coolest music video I've ever done.
Sweet.
You had, now I know we can't give it away, but you had mentioned a concept to me a few weeks ago. Did you end up going with the same concept? I guess you don't.
Yes.
Oh,
Eddie, why don't you tell us what that concept was?
I don't think I can. I don't
Eddie?
think I can do that.
I was teeing you up to make up a fake one.
I'm
a really,
sorry.
really bad white
I was like,
guy.
hold on, no, I think I can't destroy his stuff. Yeah, I really look forward to seeing it. Just Prop in a Panera having a real deep talk on an acoustic guitar. I think that's the
In the
video.
Panera.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Well,
Panera.
then-
Rob,
then-
tell you-
then
tell
it'd
you
be
how
full
about
of
this,
white guys
man?
in the
I don't
background.
want you to spoil it.
Totally.
I don't know. When's the release date, real quick?
Of the video?
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
The video, we haven't announced that, but I'm pretty sure it's when this podcast drops.
Oh, nice.
Whoa.
Ooh,
Okay,
sneaky.
so that means
turnaround.
you can talk about the concept, right?
Not yet.
Okay.
Okay.
This is very
okay.
secretive.
Well, how about this? At least give us a hint about the concept. Can you at least do that?
I can hint the concept. The concept really has to do with if you've any sort of like romantic relationship and just kind of all the ups and downs of being in a relationship, trying to make two people work together, whether it's all the highs and lows, like the fights, the funnies, the passive aggressiveness, the everything, all wrapped into one music video in a really cool house.
I can't wait.
Yeah,
I'm
I wanna
excited.
see it.
This single is
Yes.
a precursor toward your album release.
Yes.
Which you
Yes.
now have a date for, don't you?
Yes, I do. June 30th.
June 30th.
Crooked.
There it is.
Oh, that's really soon.
Crooked's coming out. You can pre-order vinyl.
Ooh,
You can
yes.
you can pre-order the album right now on
Vinyl
iTunes.
is the way to do it.
Oh yeah, I did.
Yes.
that's the way to do
Yeah.
it. That's fun.
Yeah. I'm telling you, I'm excited.
Prop.
I've heard
Me too.
the album. I heard it in a car with Prop, which is always awkward if your friend who's an artist plays you their new music and it's not that good and you're watching and they're looking for your reaction.
You have to
Here's
lie.
the good thing.
Yeah.
This is
You
his
have to lie.
This is his best album. And it is
yeah.
fantastic.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And he only played the songs for me once, and he wouldn't keep playing them. Like I wanted to hear them again, he wouldn't do
Right,
it.
just one
It was
time.
weird. It was like, no, you just get the taste.
Keep them wanting more.
But I'm telling you, I have the album, and it's phenomenal, and I'm excited for people to hear it.
Prop, congratulations, man.
Thanks,
Prop,
guys.
listen too,
Yeah.
man. I know that there'll probably be, I've heard a lot of the album. I think every track could be a single. And in that case, you're gonna need a lot of music video ideas. And
That is true.
if you're looking for just some fresh concepts, it's not a pressure thing. I'm not even gonna charge you for these. But I wouldn't mind you kind of coming my way, because I like to fashion myself as the M. Night Shyamalan of music videos. I've got a concept.
Okay.
I have a
I
concept.
feel like I
that
should get a
has,
freebie
like-
because the amount of like craft coffee I made you in a mountain.
That's true.
So
Exactly. So here's the thing, man. My favorite thing about any work of art, any type of film, is I like twists. I like the twist always coming, and I want to do the same for one of your music videos. So I'm going to set the scene for you. Okay.
Yeah.
Something's happening. I'm going to go straight to the twist. The plot points really don't matter. We can take it whatever direction. The important thing is I'm going to bring the twist to the table.
This is what you tried to
That-
team me up to do. This is not my wheelhouse.
Okay.
See,
This
this
is
is
just-
just off the top of it.
So whatever. So whatever the plot is going. All of a sudden, you find out the main character is a ghost. But wait a second.
Hold on.
10 seconds go by. You find out that the scene with the ghost was actually a dream of the other main character. Hang on, it wasn't actually a ghost. That was a scene in the movie that the person is on a date with. But wait, back up. That scene in the movie is actually the chapter in a book that is being written by the guy who you thought was dreaming about the ghost. But wait, there's a pan out, and it pans out to Earth, and Earth is suddenly, we're in the galaxy, and the galaxy is in a marble, and the marble is in a game, a children's game that's played by another species in a parallel universe that of the children of the person you thought was a ghost in the future. She's the mother on the front porch. Fast forwarded through the time machine. It's gonna blow minds, dude. Are you catching with me?
Jesse, is there a spot for a random white guy to be distantly in the background?
Yes.
I'm afraid I did not write that in. That's too much of a twist.
Well,
All I know is as long as you got the budget for it, I'm like, let's pick a song.
Yeah, but you're following me, right? I mean, this is a twisty
There's
thing.
no way
I
to
mean, it's
follow
going to
that,
blow a
but it's
lot of
still
minds.
amazing.
Yeah, Jesse, that one wrote itself. I knew where you were going from the moment you were.
Yeah, I mean, Cameron, I don't have a problem with your random white guy twist, but I want to keep this grounded in somewhat of a reality.
Yeah, keep it fluid, keep it clean.
Right.
No random white guys in the background.
And here's my role on the show. Prop, was it hard to rhyme Koffolts in the new album? Because that's a hard word to rhyme, but you could do it.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't have to do it now. I'll wait for the track. But
Yeah, you got to wait for the track, but trust me, it's there.
yeah, I trust
You guys all made the album. I mean,
man,
of
we
course.
can't wait.
That's exciting. All right, well, moving the show along. It's time for our weekly look back at what happened this week in culture and entertainment. It's time for
In case you missed it.
In case you missed it, this week, Justin Bieber reminded fans in Manchester that, quote, God is good in the midst of the darkness. This week, as you know, pop stars, including Bieber, joined Ariana Grande for the One Love Manchester benefit concert, an event that honored the victims of the recent terror act at one of her shows. And it raised more than $13 million so far for organizations helping them. After playing an acoustic version of the song Cold Water, Bieber told the 50,000 in attendance and the millions more watching online and on various cable channels to hold on to faith and hope even in the aftermath of tragedy and violence. Here's a clip.
God is good in the midst of the darkness. God is good in the midst of the evil. God is in the midst. No matter what's happening in the world, God is in the midst. And He loves you, and He's here for you. I just want to take this moment to honor the people that were lost or that were taken. We love you so much. To the families, we love you so much. Put both hands up to honor those people right now. Everybody say, we honor you. And we love you. Thank you so much for having me, guys.
Man, I thought that was a really... I always get nervous when, like in those kinds of settings, people start preaching a little bit because I'm like, oh, don't make it weird. He was remarkably like humble, thoughtful.
Yeah.
I just thought it was like a really beautiful moment. Did you see... it was during it, but it was all during the show that there was like a police officer dancing around with some of the kids that were there, and they were just like... There was just like a lot of beauty in that concert in the midst of just
I didn't get a chance to see it.
tragedy.
I saw that speech, though, because on Instagram stories about 15 different people that I follow were all posting it because it was so moving, If
I can what would seem like a stunt button or flex bomb, but it's not. It's actually to brag on Justin. I had a chance, did a event up at Judah Smith's church back in March, and Judah's like, hey, yeah, check out my new office. And I'm like, oh, here we go. Check out your new amazing office. Yeah, you're cooler than all of us, right? But it's a beautiful office. And then he goes, hey, can you get the door? And I open the door. Yeah, Justin Bieber walks in. Just just randomly walks in. It's his birthday weekend. He decides to spend it with his pastor, right? And we're sitting on the couch, and the guy just asked me about prayer. Wow. Hey, what are your prayer practices? Like, how about before you go perform? And so to brag on like the genuineness of where this guy's coming from, like that's not a show. Like he made a concerted effort to be like, hey dude, I'm turning this age. I want to go spend it with my pastor and his friends, right? I'm not going to have a bender in Vegas. Like I'm just going to come down here and really like center myself. And of all the things to talk about, he wanted to talk about prayer.
Well, the other thing too about like that clip in particular is like this terror attack, like a lot of recent terror attacks, was motivated by like religious extremism, and I think for some people that may not be religious themselves, like they look at these types of events as sort of like, obviously there are ways to celebrate the victims and kind of celebrate humanity. But I like the fact that even someone like Justin Bieber was still able to bring God into the conversation, even in the shadow of an event that was, like I said, motivated by a very extremist, distorted ideology, to remind people of the importance of faith in kind of, like I said, kind of the shadow of that kind of tragedy. It was just a cool moment.
Yeah, I agree.
And Prop, I want you to feel always the freedom on this show. If you ever meet somebody cool, you can just share it, because that was a cool story. Cool. And
4/5 of the times I've been at Judas Church, Bieber's been there, just attending.
Right.
And
yeah. I mean, if I met him, I'd share
and
it.
every time he says, "Hi, I'm Justin," and he introduces himself, and I'm like, "Yeah, we met."
Yeah.
And I'm not memorable.
You're like, "I'm sorry, what's your name?" Well, it's more impressive that he introduces himself as Justin. Like.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, he doesn't, that's like Michael Jordan. That's like walking up to Michael Jordan at like a Foot Locker or a basketball court. And him saying,
at a Foot Locker.
Hi, I'm Michael Jordan. Well, I'm saying that's his silhouette is on half the shoes in there. It's like, yeah, you could just say hello. You don't have to say hello, I'm Michael Jordan. You're just being redundant at this point. I know exactly how could I possibly not know who you are? Like, whether you're a fan of him or not, Justin Bieber is arguably one of the top 5 most recognizable people on the planet. For him to introduce himself to someone instead of just saying, "Hey, how's it going?" I respect that he still introduces himself as a first name.
He's a nice, humble dude.
Yeah. Conversely, the moment I hit 300 Twitter followers, I haven't said my own name. I haven't said it in years.
You say hello. You know who I am.
People.
Check the verified check.
Yeah,
Yes.
Yeah. You're at the checkout line. You're at the checkout line at the grocery store. Some dude's kind of singing a Spanish song under his breath while he's deeply staring at you, and you just kind of look at him like, "Yeah, you know."
And
who
I just
am.
offer, "Would you like to take a selfie with me?"
Yeah.
I know you're getting there. Let's have
I know you're working up the nerve right now. Yes, it's me.
Just cut to the chase.
Yes, I know you want to ask if you can take a selfie with me, and of course the answer is absolutely not. Get out of my face, or I'm calling the authorities.
Yes, I'm on that podcast. Yes, I host that podcast. Feel free, whatever you need.
So you're threatening them with like calling the police for harassing you, even though they never asked to take a selfie. You just presumed that's where it was headed. Yes, I know what you're about to ask, and yes, you better put your phone down right now. I got my phone too, and it's got a lawyer on speed dial. So back up, sir. And she's like, "I just want to know if you wanted paper or plastic. I just wanted, yeah. Keep it moving.
I'm a big deal.
I want plastic.
I have Kevin Max and propaganda in my cell phone. I'm a big deal. Take a picture with me."
Hey, in case you missed it,
No way to transition.
I thought of a music video with 8 plot twists. 8.
Hey, in case you missed it, the Pope, and that's in quotes, the quote-unquote Pope will be in the next Sharknado movie. And yes, he's going to be played by Fabio, of course.
Wow,
Sci-Fi has announced details about the 5th installment of its epically terrible disaster franchise, Sharknado, and it somehow sounds even more epically terrible than the first 4 made-for-TV efforts. Along with the returning quote-unquote stars, Ian Ziering and Tara Reid, the new film will feature numerous cameos, including former SNL cast member Chris Kattan as the Prime Minister of England,
Oh, no, Chris
Clay
Kattan.
Aiken as a brilliant inventor,
Oh, that's good for him.
Tony Hawk as a weapons specialist, and romance novel cover model Fabio will be playing the Pope.
What I'm amazed with this franchise is that we talk about this every year, and every year there is like the genuine reaction of, "Oh, it couldn't get worse."
Well, the last one, remember, it ended up here in Orlando, the movie.
Yeah.
But I'm like, this one really is.
Yeah, the tornado or the Sharknado was going down the East Coast.
Wow.
And it went from New York through Washington, D.C. all the way down, and it ended up at Universal Studios Florida, which is the parent company that owns the production company. That
It's a true story.
There
it is.
I was reading some of the early plot synopsis of this one. I forgot. I should have put this in the show notes here, but it's called Global Swarming, so it's timely.
There could
Global swarming, but then also like I guess like the 2 protagonists in the film. I guess Tara Reid's character maybe died in the last installment or one of the other ones. I haven't seen them all, sadly. But she's back in bionic form. But I guess the 2 main characters.
Are you serious?
I
She's
think
like
so.
a bionic woman.
I think
bionic
she
woman?
died, but they were just bringing her back as like half robot or something.
Oh, that's
You
amazing.
know, people underestimate how hard it is to make a bad movie on purpose.
Yeah,
because
great point.
the bad is what makes it so good. So they have to go, what's the most ridiculous thing we can do right now?
Yeah.
Nah, that's stupid. But is that good stupid or is that like
Right.
bad stupid?
Just judging from the cast, that's exactly the approach that they're going
That's a
for.
great point.
I watched the last two.
It's kind of hard. It's kind of hard to be like, are you too smart to be that dumb, or are you too dumb to be that smart?
Right.
Like you have to be smart to be dumb.
Right.
But if you're casting Fabio as the Pope, I feel like you're
Brilliant.
pretty smart.
Well, that counts.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's
Pretty
brilliant.
smart.
It's a sort of movie that's so bad it should be like watched with a large group of friends who are amped up.
Yeah.
Right.
Like it needs reaction stuff, because when it doesn't quite land is when you're sitting by yourself on the couch late at night watching it, and it's just kind of like it's almost like watching Seinfeld without a laugh track, or watching you know, like you need
like,
that
what am I
sense
doing
of
here?
everybody's
Right.
enjoying
pop
this,
some
or
popcorn.
Oh my gosh, this is Fabio.
Put the kids down, and this is destroying our date night. Right. You need to bro down in this movie.
like I
Yeah,
was
it's
at
not a date night.
Like I went to the opening night of Fast and Furious 6 before it jumped the shark. Since we're 7 jumped the shark. I don't know. I'm not interested anymore. But up to 6, I was there opening night with Chad Michael Snavely,
Right.
and I'm telling you, the crowd was so amped up and into it.
Yeah.
People were running up and down the aisles. People were hooting and hollering and swinging their jackets over their heads and stuff.
Yeah.
It was like when the logo appeared, people started cheering. I mean, it was just like the most epic experience.
Right.
You need to watch Sharknado with that sort of environment.
Right.
Star
Yeah,
Wars
it has-
opening
yeah.
night, all
Yeah.
that kind of stuff. It's just fun.
Yeah.
Well, it was like, I remember when Snakes on a Plane came out back in the day, and one of the guys who was working there at Relevant went to the movie theater opening night, and he might have gone by himself just because he wanted to see what the fuss was about. And when Samuel L. Jackson utters his now famous explicit line in Snakes on the Plane, he said, not only did the whole theater erupt, and everyone jumped to their feet, several guys took their shirts off.
Yes.
Just could not handle it. It was so
It was
fun.
just too much. It was too much, you know?
That is the ultimate in excitement, is the ripping off of the shirt. Just like
In a movie theater. Yeah.
One day I want to have that reaction.
Yes.
One day.
Yeah.
Like Mia Hamm, they win the
just-
World Cup.
Yeah.
Slide on your knees, rip the shirt. Yeah, no, it's
What's weird though is that every time you sign off of the podcast, Chandler is just running around the office.
Well, today is going to be quite a thing. He's wearing a Kanye West shirt.
Yep.
Have you noticed this?
Yeah.
Yep.
He's wearing a Pablo shirt.
Yeah.
I've never
wow.
seen you wear a hip hop shirt before. It's
Really?
interesting. No, yeah.
No, all right.
There you go.
Where'd you
So
get the
first
Pablo?
time
Did you
everything.
score it out on the road or
No, I got it at my
Scored on the-
girlfriend's work. She works in a resale store.
But it's like a really high end,
Yeah.
hipster resale store.
Yeah.
How long you guys been together now?
4 months.
Hey, getting serious.
Hey, in case you missed it, John Mark McMillan released a brand new song about his struggle with anxiety.
This is a beautiful song.
Is an odd thing to be laughing as I'm saying.
Ha ha ha. Anxiety.
And the song is called Enemy Love and is from his upcoming album, Mercury and Lightning. On Facebook, he wrote in part, anxiety. I try to control my world, and since that is supremely not possible, I get anxiety. It seems like so often the very things we do to protect or hold on to what we love ends up stealing them from us. See, my attempts to control the universe only creates enemies. Enemies with the world, with people, enemies with the ones I love. And I find myself at odds with God and with myself. Enemy love, like much of the new record, is about growing up, especially the letting go part of growing up. Not to be irresponsible or dismissive, but I'm realizing when I let go of my ideals and ego, I also become much better at holding on to what I actually have. And that's beautiful. Here's a clip.
I don't trust a fool. I don't trust myself. I don't wanna bother you. All of my doubt and regret said I wouldn't bury you. Promise that I'm doing my best, but I think I'm losing my head. Losing my head. Heaven in a China girl. Heaven in an empty dress. Heaven and 3 wild birds. Heaven in an empty nest. Said I wouldn't miss one minute. Said I wouldn't buckle under stress. But I think I'm losing my head. Losing my head.
In case you missed it, a new J.R.R. Tolkien book was released 100 years after he first began working on it. When he was in his mid-20s, years before he would become famous for writing the Lord of the Rings trilogy, he fought in World War I. After coming home, he began writing to process the things he witnessed and tell a love story inspired by the real-life romance with the woman he shared his life with, his wife Edith. Now, 100 years after Tolkien wrote the story Beren and Luthien, it has been released. Based in Middle-earth, the BBC says it explores the fate of lovers Beren and Luthien, a mortal man and an immortal elf who together try to steal from the greatest of all evil beings, Melkor. There you go.
Yeah, I mean, it's always weird how an author, especially someone like Tolkien, who is one of the most important novelists of the several generations, like of the last
several generations of nerds is what you're saying.
Yeah, well, no, I'm just saying, even if you said objectively, Tolkien would have to be on a very short list of the most important novelists.
He would be on the nerd Mount Rushmore with the Star Wars guy, the white beard guy,
and the lady who wrote Harry Potter,
the Harry Potter lady, and Tolkien.
Well, he's also one of the most important figures in faith, and I mean, he personally helped lead.
He's one of the Inklings, man. Come on.
Yeah, he helped lead C.S. Lewis to faith. But it's always weird to me how an author like this can have something written that's just hidden for 100 years and no one decides to publish it.
Crazy.
How does that happen? I mean, were they waiting for the 100-year mark?
I have a feeling, though, Jesse, you've got dream journals that you've been writing that are just absolutely crazy. And someday somebody's going to come across them, and 100 years from now, they will publish them, and it will be a classic work of literature.
Do I have a feeling, or do I have absolute certainty that's going to happen?
Yeah.
And when you say dream journals, I'm talking telephone book-sized volumes. Much of which,
these are movie scripts and music video scripts with amazing plot twists.
Much of which is very controversial, and I only hope that in 100 years from now, society has progressed to a time when what they're going to read in those pages is acceptable socially, because right now we're not even close.
I'm pretty sure we just didn't have the technology to accomplish what you saw in these dreams for music videos. So you just said to yourself, I'm just going to put this book under my couch.
That's right.
But I mean, there are earth-shattering and plot-shattering twists about every other page. It's very difficult to follow. Extreme. I mean, I'm introducing new characters and abandoning them throughout. It's pretty much stream of conscious and makes very little sense. Some of it's in languages I don't even know what I understand. They just came to me in the same dreams. It's very difficult.
I was shocked.
It's going to need a decoder ring.
I do with a lot of fictional books, I go to the last page first. I was shocked how Jesse's phone book-sized dream journal ended with the lone white man distantly in the background. It was
every single one.
It was very odd twist at the very end. It all culminated with that.
You also realize that he's been behind that wall the whole time. He's here.
Right here.
Dana never existed. There are no kids.
Plot twist.
All of it has always been he's right here.
He's like that couple that they found in the news this week in Arkansas or something, that they moved into an attic above a Walmart.
Yeah.
And they were living like kings. And they discovered they had been there for 2 years and they were homeless. And it was a guy with his he was 46 and he had his 56-year-old girlfriend up there, and they found meth cooking paraphernalia.
46 and 56.
Yeah.
Wow.
And they had flat screen TVs, living room sets, everything
you have a
Walmart sold
at your disposal.
Yeah, everything
It's
Walmart
amazing.
sold, they moved into their attic space up there. And
all the meth lab stuff.
yeah, well, they had all the accoutrance.
Yeah, everything you'd need to make
a pan.
methamphetamine.
Yeah.
That's a new craze, man.
Okay, real quick, Cameron. I'm not familiar with all the details legally of what squatters' rights are,
Right.
but I have a hunch that if it had not been for cooking meth up there, they might have a legal right to live in that Walmart attic. I think if you pass the 2-year mark, that's yours.
I think every state's different. I know squatters' rights are actually very liberal in Chicago and stuff for real. So landlords get screwed all the time because people just decide to stop paying rent, and then they just the eviction process is very pro squatter, you're allowed to stay there for another year basically before you can get evicted and stuff. So it's a big problem. But I don't know the specifics of this locale. their the squatters / eviction rights. So
I would love it if it was in a locale that just told the Walmart, like, look, there's really nothing we can do. I mean, they got rights here. They've been up there. They got a whole living room set. That's pretty nice. I mean, they got like 2 futons, a flat screen TV. This is their home now, and legally, it's as much theirs as it is yours at this point. If you wanted them out, you should have detected them prior to the 2-year mark. It's kind of on you at this point.
Yeah. Hey, lastly, in case you missed it, John Christ, our friend John Christ, took his Bible verse lady to Vegas this week. He's back with another video featuring Bible verse lady who just so happens to have a scripture reference ready for every possible situation. This time, she goes to Sin City. Here's a clip.
Look at this pyramid. Let my people go. Oh, virgin daiquiris, my cup overflows. Oh, look how she is clothed, not in strength and dignity. Look at all these people gambling. Borrower is slave to the lender. Tattoos and piercings, absolutely not. My body is a temple. Escalator broken, please use stairs. Consider it pure joy when you face trials of many kinds. Look at this beautiful city. Oh, resist the devil and he will flee from you.
My favorite line in there is that the sign of God's blessing is, of course, virgin daiquiris. It's basically a strawberry Slurpee, but hey, I mean, to each his own.
Yeah, there you go. All right, well, that'll do it for In Case You Missed It. Stay tuned. Up next, Slices.
That reminds me. Every usual road's got a sign, and every boy uses the same line. I pledge allegiance to everything now. And every song that I've ever heard is playing at the same time. It's absurd, and it reminds me of everything now. We'll turn the speakers up till they break, 'cause every time you smile it's a fake. Stop pretending you got everything now. I need it, I want it, I can't live without it, I can't live without it.
You're listening to Arcade Fire. The song is Everything Now. They announced their new album is coming out in late July, I think the 29th. So they just released their new single, Everything Now. They're continuing. If you heard Reflector, their last album, they kind of tapped into their 70s vibe.
Loved it.
This song is indicating that that's the lane they're in.
Yeah.
I'm down.
I like it.
I love Arcade Fire.
Yeah. They continue to surprise me. I keep waiting for them to be like, oh, remember when Arcade Fire was awesome?
Yeah, like a U2 move. Have like 2 or 3 albums in a row, just duds, right?
Man, I love Arcade Fire. They're kind of like Radiohead. You don't know when it's going to happen, but when they release something, it's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Speaking of, that might be a good foreshadowing to an upcoming song break. There's a new Radiohead album. There's a new Radiohead album.
I'm aware. I'm on Apple Music now. It's changed my whole music life.
Good for you.
Yeah, I just listened
Welcome.
I listened very many things that you say, that was whatever. I've heard it. I was amazed.
Nice. Hey, at the beginning of the podcast, you heard Drake with the song Madiba Rhythm. There you go. It's a good summer vibe.
There you go.
It's a good summer vibe.
We got Arcade Fire, we got Drake. Yeah, I mean, just rolling the hits today.
Yeah,
Madiba Rhythm.
Yeah, sometimes we do like deep cut indie obscure. You've never heard of them. I'm going with the heavy hitters this week. We got Radiohead, Arcade Fire, Hillsong United, Drake.
Summer Dance Party.
Done.
Plus, we owe it to people after
Fake Jamaican accents. Brilliant.
Yeah. We owe it to people after what we did last week with that I Hope You Dance thing.
Yeah. This is a palate cleanser.
That's right.
If you didn't hear last week's podcast, we're sorry for the earworm that we infected you with.
We're not sorry
do not
at all.
apologize. It was hilarious.
Yeah. So Drake starting this one with Drake is the sorbet musically. It's a palate cleanser. So there you go. Yeah.
Yeah, and I will say this, 2 of the volumes of my 17-volume Dream Journal set are entitled In Case You Dance, and they're mostly comprised of very disturbing doodles. So that's just a fun fact.
Yet the whole journal's animated, so they don't seem to go
flip
together.
Book. It took me a lot of time, but it's a very, very unsettling flip book.
Yeah.
But,
All right. It's time. It's time for Slices. What do you have, Jesse?
All right, well, before we jump into this week's news, I do have an update about the Slice Up brought last week. So I told you about an individual last week I think Eddie brought this slice, but I had said that I wanted to get a guy on that Eddie had spoken about on Outlaw Hero.
Yes.
So an individual had charges raised against them by prosecutors in the city of Pittsburgh because he was a fan of Nashville's hockey team and threw a catfish onto the ice during the game. I thought it was ludicrous that he was facing charges from this. The mayor of both Nashville and Pittsburgh agreed, and what I can only assume is that they heard that we were going to be talking about it on the podcast. They did not want to tango with Outlaw Hero. They saw what happened the last 2 times around. All the charges have been dropped. You can thank us because, like I said, I think the only reason for that happening is this guy getting free from these charges is that they knew we were going to be talking about it. But I will read a statement from the mayor of Pittsburgh who said, "This has turned into a whale of a story. From my perch, I agree with Nashville's mayor that we shouldn't be baited into interfering with this fishtail.
Lord.
But if the charges eventually make their way to the judge, I hope the predatory catfish hurler who has gotten off the hook is simply sentenced to community service." I think this guy is the real criminal here for a string of dad jokes. So bad. Because he was smirking to himself. And he's like he's emailing this so smugly to his staff in the Pittsburgh City Hall.
Nailed it.
They're going to love that on Relevant.
No, but listen, I was going to start off with "from my perch" here, like a fish, like a perch. This is gold. This is gold. Yeah. So the mayor of Pittsburgh is the real criminal here, and the man can't be stopped. And this is a real shame that he took a hilarious story and just butchered it for all of the internet.
What's going to happen though is this is going to be a thing. People are going to have catfish on their shirts. This is going to be a thing.
It's Tennessee people do wear catfish on their shirts. It's the logo at like Bass Pro Shop, and that's 90% of the apparel worn in that state. So
it's like the church's logo. Like it's just catfish.
Just catfish.
I got to tell you, yesterday was the first time I ever on television watched a full hockey game. Went to a Kings game once because California, West. And but this is the first time I actually watched a game, and I feel like I got like Smashville fever. I was like, granted, I have no idea what was happening short of put the puck in the net, you know what I'm saying? And then stop the other team from doing that. But besides that, I was like, yo, I caught the fever. This is super exciting. And I feel like I would totally throw a catfish on the ice.
Before the series moved back to Nashville, I don't really watch it, but I saw, on Instagram stuff was making the rounds, the Nashville coach put a little video out on Twitter, and he was like, "Hey, just excited about the game night, talking to the fans." He's like, "You guys are the best fans in the world. Can we please not throw anything on the ice, please?" Like it's just like, this is a real thing. Please come on. Like no more
and the
catfish.
fans' reaction is absolutely not. We're all bringing catfish tonight.
I don't think you understand.
Yeah. This is now our
Can you
thing.
imagine how slow the security lines are going to move now with all the pat downs they're going to have to do, and they're going to be squeezing that bulge, and like, what is that? Is that natural? Is that a natural like love handle, or is that is that a smushed fish that you've stuck in your pants?
Or it's like, actually, it is a smushed fish. It's not technically illegal because I just told you. It's not a weapon because I told you. I just want to have a fish in my pocket.
They have security
fishing
guards that
license.
don't have those little metal detectors. They don't have like guns or tasers. They're just patrolling the ice, like in the area around the ice with big nets to try to catch the flying catfish that just come hurtling down the bleachers the whole game. They're like wearing riot gear, but instead of batons, they have nets, and they're just catching catfish. And they need the riot gear because every once in a while we'll catch one right in the plexiglass face.
Well,
and it's disgusting.
What's great about this is I've always wondered, the people who go to college and they're on a lacrosse scholarship, what do you do as a professional option when you graduate as a lacrosse player? Now there's a whole industry. You can be a referee. You go around with your little lacrosse net and you catch the flying fish before they hit the ice.
Done.
Jesse,
I do have a thing I want to bring up.
It's a selling point for lacrosse. Get your kids into lacrosse.
I think, because get a lacrosse scholarship so your kids can catch fish. Nashville, whatever their name is.
Not even a professional. Like, you're not even on the team.
No. You're just walking around.
Work at the Bridgestone Arena.
Jesse, you had a really good sports theory last week, and I have one about hockey that I would love thoughts on. So
Okay,
I have a hard
okay.
time connecting with hockey, and I've wondered why. Because as soon as I watched soccer, totally into it. I loved it, right? And I had a hard
Now,
time.
did you see it live or on TV?
Live. And
Okay.
I've seen hockey live, and I cannot get into it. Here's what I think the problem is.
Okay.
I can't skate. So when I watch any other
But you
sport,
can play soccer.
well, I can run on grass. I
can run on grass.
I think
Like,
there's
that's not hard.
Granted, everybody is much more talented than me and much more athletic. But there's always a sense when you're watching sports, you're like, we're doing that. I'm cheering you on.
I
You're
could hit
doing the
that free
race.
throw.
We're in it together.
Yeah.
What if
Yeah.
I did get into a baseball game? Like John Kruk was a big dude. I'm smaller than John Kruk and probably smaller than him. I could probably get something done, right? In a mid-season game when nobody cares, I could have figured out something. Hockey, I can't even skate. And so I can't even begin to connect with it.
So you can't identify with it.
I cannot identify with
But
it.
So
here's
the
where that
kids who
falls
grew up in,
apart to
like-
me, because you're a huge fan of the Olympics, and pretty much anything that happens in an Olympic gymnasium, none of us on this podcast
But
have any hope of
generally-
ever attempting.
But generally, we figure, if I was put in that gymnasium, if I'm given a floor and they put on a song,
I'm sorry,
I'm
Eddie.
going
If
to
any
entertain
of
the
us,
people.
you put us on those uneven bars, we're not even like swinging back and forth for
Yeah,
more
but I
than
could
a few
hang up
seconds.
there and do the-
Much us do the flip.
That's actually a good point.
I could do the presidential fitness challenge on it.
Kids in Canada and the cold states, they grew up playing
That's
hockey,
right.
and so that's why they're interested. Kids down here grew up playing soccer and football. That's why they're interested in
Right.
it. There's a connection to your past. When I was a little kid, I had to take gymnastics lessons one year, so that's why I love the floor routine and the rings.
all this time we've
Yeah.
talked about the
Yeah.
Olympics, and you've never brought it up.
2 years. Yeah.
That's amazing, Chandler. You know
Do you
what?
like it?
Or not Chandler, whatever your name is.
No, I didn't like it at all.
Keep it at Chandler.
It was,
Chandler took
it was
gymnastics.
required. My mom made me do it.
I
Didn't like
actually,
it.
I remember that at my elementary school, there was an opportunity to do like little third grade gymnastics things. And I remember thinking, cool, I can learn how to backflip. But then all the other boys were like, oh, gymnastics is for girls. Gymnastics is for girls. And they ruined it because
That's a bummer.
it's a bummer. I wish because when I see those dudes on those floor exercises, I grew up in hip hop and I'm like, those dudes they're just busting really epic flares. Wow, that's a windmill. You're breakdancing.
Right.
And then I look at that dude's upper body and I'm like, oh crap, that could have been me, stupid boy, playground policing.
Right.
That's right.
That's right. That's
That's
true. I
exactly.
would guess a lot of b-boys and a lot of breakdancers.
Oh, yeah.
probably
for sure.
did at least at some point do some gymnastics.
And I got to tell you, on the floor routine, if you put on Justin Bieber's new Spanish song, and you give me 3.5 minutes to wow the crowd, I'm getting 9s.
9s,
No problem.
not 0.9s.
No problem.
Well,
I'm gonna-
and like in the categories for like the flips and all the like the jumps and everything, you're getting goose egged across the board. But when it comes to style, they're
Right.
through the roof. They're higher than 10.
Once they
They're
see what
higher
this
than
body
10.
is capable of when set to music, they're not going to know what to do.
An object in motion wants to stay in motion.
It certainly does.
So real, and I do have another. I have an actual slice of bring, but while you brought this topic up, Eddie, shockingly I was expecting like a lot of pushback on my 3 criteria for sports thing that I brought up last issue.
Well, I think we're still envisioning
my
inertia as it relates to his floor routine. That an
sorry.
object in motion wants to stay in motion.
Just the idea of just being out there and just like the crowd is just clapping.
The clock has run out like 10 minutes ago, and the floor routine persists.
I am just rolling off the side. Woo. Excuse me,
But like
Jesse.
once you get those like flips, those the hand to feet, full
Right.
flips going, they're tough
Right.
to stop.
Oh, I'm at the corner.
You're at
They do the shot across the
Yeah.
mat. They look at me. I'm determined.
Yeah.
And I am running full speed.
Full speed.
Now they cut to a wide shot and you realize it's basically a trot. But
Right.
then you look at my face and you realize it's as fast as I've ever gone. I attempt to do one flip. I'm already falling off the edge of it.
I think you're doing
Dripping
I
sweat.
think you do the flip, you land it, and then you can't stop, and it's like a slinky. It just
you
keeps
open the
going.
double doors
You're
of the
down the tunnel,
gymnasium and
you
you're
go
off
down the tunnel.
down the road.
Yeah, exactly. They open the doors, and you're down the road like a slinky.
Yeah, and
Just-
the whole everybody's silent because they assume I'm not going to make it. and then just slow
You're
clap.
never seen again. You flipped off into the horizon.
And then at the medal ceremony, they do an in memoriam segment,
Right.
and they play a nice song, and there's your face.
You
Straight
keep
ones.
flipping and flipping until you eventually you hit the coast. You disappear under the water, only to resurface on like across the Atlantic on a beach doing flips like a week later.
Oh,
It's
man.
pretty spectacular.
I'm just screaming, help, help, hey, gets up, hey.
They just
Let me down.
your nickname is Gymnastics Slinky for the rest of your life.
Come on, guys.
Gymnastics Slinky, man.
This isn't
Never
even fun
seen
anymore.
again. Yeah.
It's a good idea.
So
And I like to think too that your flips are as slow as a slinky, but they still can't be stopped.
Right,
It's not
'cause-
like a fast moving spinning
Because
slinky.
once the bottom end gets over,
Yeah.
it's pushing pretty hard back towards Earth and flipping up my hands.
And it's the same speed above ground as underwater, as on the
yeah.
surface of the ocean.
Oh my goodness.
I haven't even got to your slice yet.
Yeah, Jesse, your slice. Go ahead.
Well, before I get to that, just since we're on
yeah.
the sports thing, real quick, I was kind of surprised because we got a ton of different people writing in this week, but only one person took exception with my 3 criteria for sport, which were
Yes.
athleticism, competition, and an objective outcome.
I saw that.
not
Phil
being
on
not
Twitter.
a subjective outcome, but a clear goal. You've won, right?
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
what you're saying.
Like a component of judging that could go one way or the other. It's either scored or it's timed or the point system is non-debatable. Phil on Twitter said that I should drop the subjective objective thing and it should instead be an offensive defensive component. Like that's the 3rd criteria. Here's where that breaks down. You eliminate all target sports like darts, bowling, and golf, all 3 of which I consider sports. And 2, any timed event that's still an objective outcome but has no defensive component, like foot racing or some sort of like track and field event. So I'm sorry, Phil. I appreciate I appreciate your feedback there, but it's
track
not
and
a
field.
whole
I would say track and field is definitely a sport.
Oh, yeah.
Especially, I mean,
But there's
you're
no
a race.
defensive
Right.
component.
That's right. There's no offense or defense. That's right.
Well,
there's offense. There's no defense.
Yeah.
I mean,
There's
unless
little
you're-
white lines keeping you away from playing
Yeah,
defense.
exactly.
But on some of them, when they're going around and around, there's like a lot of strategy into like who's going in front of you.
There's not strategy, but
Well,
there's
that's
no
strategy.
defense.
There's no
I'm not
defense,
doing
though.
anything to prevent the offense from the other team to perform offensively.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Anyway,
All right.
I feel I've thought about this too much. Trust me, it's concrete, man. I've put too much time. I appreciate the weak effort.
But sorry, Phil.
it's
Never
not
bring that up again. Worst thing Jesse's ever heard. Sorry, pal.
So no, but okay. So I do have a real slice, and I'll go through it pretty fast since I've derailed us.
Yeah, we're gonna have to burn through all of them.
But I
Sorry.
had to update the catfish thing. I didn't feel like it was right to proceed without doing that. But America is in the midst of its next great legal battle over religious liberty. This one comes from Arizona, where a mayor named Sean Corbett, after 2 years of trying to convince his local DMV that his religion should be respected and that he should be able to wear religious headgear in his his driver's license photo, he has finally got their permission. But now state legislators want to void his license and have it take a new picture. That's because Corbett contends that he is a member of the Church of the Flying Spaghetti Monster.
Yes.
He identifies as a Pastafarian and wears a noodle colander on his head. So for 2 years, he tried to get his picture on his driver's license with this colander on his head. Now that they finally had it, of course, he did what any goofball does, and he starts bragging about it online. Well, the state legislator in Arizona did not think it was funny. They claimed that the colander interferes with their facial recognition system, but Corbett said that that's not the case, that he confirmed that the photo with the colander on his head does not interfere with it. And he said, this indicates that there is no error. They are simply discriminating against my religion. He has gone ahead and got legal representation, and he's going to actually fight the state's decision because he just wants to make a weird, but I guess somewhat valid stand that what is the role of government to determine what is a religion and and what is not one in the most ridiculous way possible. So despite all of the back and forth, it might actually go to court now to see if the state is able to say with any sort of legal bearing that the Church of the Flying Spaghetti Monster is legit or not.
I mean, he has a point. I mean,
Yeah, he's just being annoying,
why, who appointed the state able to determine a religion or belief system? I mean,
Yeah.
he makes a completely valid point.
Yeah, and like the other thing is too, it is because it's like in a way, like the criteria for the sports thing. If you start applying hard and fast criteria to religion, that means can we no longer have new religions? Can we only respect ones that are like the traditional ones, or is it how many people?
Well, and at some point, all religions were new religions. At some point, there's an origin story, you know?
Yeah. And so that it's another kind of interesting thread with these people who are essentially trolling the legal system. Like we saw it recently with like the Satanic Temple. Now they don't actually believe in like a supernatural entity of Satan. They just, but they wanted to erect these satanic monuments on state courthouses only if those state courthouses had the 10 Commandments. And the thing about this method is obviously ridiculous, and it makes for funny internet stories, or it's a funny picture seeing a guy with a pasta strainer on his head in a driver's license photo. But they're raising the point in a way that's more effective than a lot of people who study the law their whole life can, when it comes to like bringing to the courts what is religious liberty and what is not. So now who knows how high this case will eventually end up going, but at its core is a dude with a piece of kitchenware on his head.
Crazy.
I love it. I'll let him wear it.
Let him wear it.
Yeah.
I mean, he's making a point.
Is it really hurting anyone?
Well, that's the thing. Like, because here's the thing. I think we all know, and any person that Cameron, like you said, like takes like that kind of reasonable stances, he's probably going to win. Like you either just be like, all right, fine, whatever, we're just not going to worry about it, or you're going to take it into court and you're going to lose to the guy with wearing a spaghetti strainer on his head in the courtroom.
But they always make the argument that it's like, okay, well, if we allow this, then what else is going to happen? You're like, let's just wait till maybe that happens, because my guess is that it's one
because
guy
otherwise
with a
you're going to lose.
Right. Just let this guy do his thing.
And you don't want to lose to a guy with a spaghetti strainer on his head. Just it's all good, man. You know what? Wear a strainer. You know, it's parenting 101. You just like, my daughter refuses. She doesn't feel like it. She refuses to like pair her socks together. So I could either fight her every time she does laundry, or just let her wear mismatched socks. What difference does it make? Wear mismatched socks.
Yeah,
exactly right.
Choose your battles.
Yeah. But anyway, so we'll keep an update as with this court case develops. But I'm with you, Sean. I like that he's pushing the limits here, seeing what this American ideal is really made of.
There you go. All right, Prop, what do you have?
I have a breakthrough in science and biology and earth studies. So you know how I feel like it's every person's bane of existence. Makes you want to walk with your hands out in front of you. If you've ever walked into a spider web, it just how ridiculous we all look. But whenever you see somebody across the street flailing their arms and jumping around like that, you already know what happened. Like, you look ridiculous, but we all know it's normal human. It's like, oh, a fool just walked into a spider web. That sucks, right? I don't know. There's been times where I felt like, man, that spider web knows what I'm doing, and I feel like it's hunting me, and I feel like when I try to take it off, that spider knows it can't eat me, so the spider is going, oh, this is gonna be funny, dog. Watch. Ah! And they're all just laughing.
Right in front of the storm door. Perfect spot.
Yeah. So the spider's going, you're stupid, you're gonna walk into, it's funny. Like, so I've always thought, and every once in a while I feel like that, and the spider web knows what it's doing, and that it's coming to get me. So there's been some studies as to if that's possible. That's pause for effect. Does the spider web?
Oh, I'm hanging on your every word. Give it to me.
Does the spider web actually think?
Does the spider web?
The web itself.
No, the web itself. So there's a study that's called animal cognition, and then part of that it's called extended cognition, right? Some scientists say there's two guys that study. One name was Kevin Landlard, Kevin Lawland. He's an evolutionary biologist at the University of St. Andrews. He proposed.
Well, I'll stop you right there. I don't believe him from here on out. Evolutionary biologist, next slice, please.
Yeah, New Earth, next.
Wait, let me finish.
I'm just kidding. I'm just joking.
Okay, I love it. That because of certain animal sizes, they had to figure out how do we continue. Our brains can't process, so they started with octopi. That's the plural of octopus, right? Yeah. Studied with octopi, and they're saying just the movement of their tentacles and the suction cups, they're like, it is too complex for a central nervous system to figure that out. So they started saying, it's not that the brain is thinking, the arm is thinking. So the intricacies of that, they realize that their cognition is actually extended. That's why it's able to do that. So they said, what if these are not the only animals or creatures that this happens in? So there was another scientist who took that thought. I'm going to butcher this fool's name also, but it's his name is Hilton Japarasu.
You got it.
Nailed it.
Got it. Collected spiders all over Brazil, right? And different species of spiders, and was trying to figure out, like, if you cut the cord and a little cricket walks into it, can this spider figure out how to retract it or not retract it? And what they discovered was that there is, like, get this, there is like brain cell activity inside of the silk spider web. Wow. That is somehow an extension of, so the spider web is actually thinking, which is proof.
Wow. That's crazy.
That web's trying to hunt you. Like the web. Wow. Spider's not even there.
Or it's an extension of the spider's brain, so it's like almost like the spider made himself that big.
Wow.
Versus it being a separate entity thinking. Oh. Wow.
But still, even to think of a spider web that's not just like, this big net that they set and don't worry about, to that it has links to its cognitive ability is pretty crazy.
When I walk into the middle of the arena and I've got my ribbon and they start that music, that's how I feel about the ribbon.
Like the ribbon's an extension of your body.
It is. Yeah, I don't know where I end. And
you're flapping in the wind.
Yeah.
In a
you
beautiful
found
way.
the joke. See, that's why you're the experts.
It took a second. Cameron will tidy it up, but
how do you follow that? What do you have, Eddie? I want to see what you do.
This one isn't funny at all, and also it's like a really long slice, so I'm just going to shorten it up and figure that people will.
This is another mind bender. I love these because these are like the twist in one of my music videos. If only there were like 10 more of them.
Yeah.
And
so
it turned out that the spider was actually dreaming through most of this. But anyway, continue, Eddie.
So this was a long form article on one of my favorite sites, Mental Floss, and I will share the link to that now. But here's the basic idea of it, and I encourage you to go down the wormhole of this slice at some point. But the theory is called the Westphal theory of a unified TV universe. And they explained this theory. Here's what happened. There was a show in the 80s called Saint Elsewhere.
Yeah.
We were, I mean,
boom, 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 boom. No, that's
also
Law &
the
Order.
song on it.
This is almost the theme song for the new Activist, and then I realized I didn't want to destroy the show because it's so perky.
That would be great.
So, St. Elsewhere signs off in 1988, and it was a very popular show. And like any ending of a series, there's always a bit of controversy around it, unless it's one of the great endings like Friday Night Lights. That was just a great final episode, but like Seinfeld and all that stuff.
Do you remember Moonlighting?
I do remember Moonlighting.
Bruce Willis was in
Sybil Shepherd.
I saw that once and I was like 8 and I thought, ooh, this is a grown-up show that they watch after I go to bed.
Yes,
that's right. It was like a big deal.
Yes.
And it had that fly-in, like downtown LA scene at the beginning.
Yeah. And there was like all sorts of like adult innuendo things that
I didn't quite get those.
I didn't understand it, but I knew that I
something
didn't
was going
understand
on.
it. Right.
So they meant something else.
Yeah.
I don't know.
What is moonlighting? Yeah, I still haven't cracked that nut. But.
Yeah.
Did you ever watch Miami Vice?
I watched Miami Miami Vice.
Did you?
It was a great show.
Yeah. Miami Vice and A-Team, I think, were similar as far as like action, and the whole family could enjoy them.
A-Team is the best. Also, The Greatest American Hero. Remember that about the
That was my show.
That wonky. You like Greatest American Hero?
Oh, I loved it.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
There was
I was like too busy watching Elf.
I'm walking on air. I never thought I could feel so free. Come on,
But you guys are missing the best, and I feel like a great theme song too is MacGyver.
Oh yeah, MacGyver theme song.
MacGyver was awesome. Like
Perfect
kids could watch
Strangers.
it.
Perfect Strangers was my favorite theme song.
Cheers still has to be the best theme song.
Family Ties. I was a big Family Ties fan. Yeah.
Well, I'm going to just get to the end of this.
My favorite show in the 80s was Webster, though.
Oh, a great one.
My mom would, if I got in trouble, she'd ground me from being able to watch Webster. I had Webster restriction.
When he goes
that was
almost
the thing that
caused you to run away home.
They could
from home
spank
at one
me
point.
with a belt, and I would take that, and unfazed. But if she threatened to take away Webster, I would buckle.
No,
Webster is the best.
I loved Webster.
Yeah, when he has that little clock that he disappears into, you think that is a life. No, it was. Remember there was
Silver
a grand...
Spoons was another one. I like Ricky Schroeder and the little train that was through the house.
Like
living
that.
the dream.
Oh,
He had a
man,
race
so
car
jealous
bed.
of their life.
He had a race car bed. I'm telling you.
That was a good life.
I was a big TGIF fan. Hanging with Mr. Cooper. That was my jam. He was cool. He coached basketball. It was Mark Curry, who's hilarious.
Dude, we found out when we were in Montana, one of the guys we were with, who's now a film producer and works in LA, we found out that he got his start because he wrote an episode of Hanging with Mr. Cooper.
Wow.
Yeah, Jonathan Bach.
That's legend status right there.
Yeah,
That
man,
is
you
cool.
take you put that on your tombstone, bro.
Exactly. I wrote an episode of Hanging with Mr. Cooper. It was a great. I mean, I don't know how it holds up, but when I was a kid, I always look forward on Friday night to Hanging with Mr. Cooper.
Of course.
Okay. So
Your slice.
all of this comes together and is actually perfectly placed because this Westfall theory of a unified TV universe goes this way. When St. Elsewhere signs off, there is a boy in the show, and his name is Tommy, I believe. Yeah, Tommy Westfall. And he was the son of one of the main characters, one of the doctors on the show. And the son was somewhere on the autism spectrum. And the way that this show ends kind of freaked people out because they have this hospital that's the main setting of St. Elsewhere. And they pull out of the hospital, not unlike Jesse's very strange treatment of Propaganda's music video.
Right.
But they pull out, right? And they look out of the hospital and you realize that this hospital is in a snow globe. And you realize that the boy is holding the snow globe of the hospital and looking
So
at
the entire
it.
series is his imagination of what's happening in that hospital in the snow globe.
So the idea is that the entire series was in this boy's mind. But what was weird was that somewhere like they did in the 80s, there was a crossover episode where the doctors in the St. Elsewhere show went to Cheers. And so they're like, well, if that happened, then Cheers was in this boy's mind. Anyhow, there is this guy that has gone through.
Because Cheers also, Frasier was a spinoff of Cheers.
Yeah, of course.
Cheers.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
So this guy, and I forget his name, and it pretty much doesn't matter, but I'll just get to the end of it, went through and diagrammed every character connection that possibly could have happened within St. Elsewhere.
But you're not saying actor connection. You're saying characters
not like
within
this.
the physical TV universe.
But doesn't it end with Cheers and Frasier?
No, because back, especially in the 80s, different characters and different writers
I
would
feel
write
like Woody
the same.
Harrelson's character from Cheers showed up somewhere else.
That's right.
As Woody.
Yeah.
And so all of a sudden that gets looped into it. So it's
Kind of like in Wings or something.
It's only
Yeah.
character connections. It's not like this person directed an episode and then this person directed.
Yeah.
It's little causal connections between character connections. 430 something shows have been looped into it that they say
430?
all the way up to Seinfeld.
What?
Yeah, because it's like this connects to this, connects to this, and
Well,
they're
that makes
saying,
sense.
well,
They have
if
guests
St.
all the
Elsewhere,
time.
Well,
if St. Elsewhere was in his mind, then all of this must be in his
but
mind
he's
too.
saying it's not the actor showing up; it's the actual
It's the
character
actual
showing up.
character. Oh, I see.
So
Yeah,
Woody
yeah.
from Cheers showing up in Wings, you got the entire must-see TV lineup.
Right, it becomes 6 Degrees of Kevin Bacon or whatever.
Yeah, but
Kevin-
it's more impressive than that because I don't want the listener to get conflated because it's the difference between the 6 Degrees of Kevin Bacon is that if you go to someone's IMDb page, their they're in a bunch of movies as an actor or an actress, right? So if they shared screen time with someone, then they're, connected to Kevin Bacon down the line because another actor may have shared screen time with someone who once shared screen time. This is different because this is like when you talk about the like the Marvel Cinematic Universe or, any of these other
Pixar
cinematic universes where all of the characters occupy the same reality and could run into each other, and it would totally make sense. What you're saying
there's a lot of theories that Pixar has done that with their movies.
Too, yeah.
And exactly, that they all occupy the same universe in different time. It maybe some cross over at the same time, but like the dinosaur one is a distant future where Wall-E is a different past, and Wall-E's is a distant future. So what this theory proposes
Cars fits in confuses me, but
for example, there was a character who was on the show Homicide that also was in one of the doctors and also appeared in the X-Files and The Wire. And so it's this crazy
Oh, okay. But so that is just the actor appeared.
No. It's
he played the same kind of guy.
Right. The writer is writing like this same person. Like they'll write it in different shows. Like if you watch Aaron Sorkin stuff, like there's just everybody's sort of rehashes of the same, and some of them have the same names, and some of the people that they'll talk about, like let's say on The West Wing, are actual characters from Sports Night, and so they all connect.
So the guy who connected 430 shows.
441 shows. Yes.
Does he have a girlfriend or not? What's your bet? Because he has a lot of time on his hands.
Let's just say hand bologna sandwiches are his number one favorite dinner. I'm not trying to draw a parallel here and bring him into your universe, but we need to send him a hello.
Either single or independently wealthy. Because if he has a spouse or a girlfriend, he clearly doesn't work.
Yeah.
So
Brienne, I brought this slice to Brienne last night, and she was just not super into it. And she was just like, her response was like, who would have time to do that? I was like, the guys I'm going to be talking to on the show. I'm telling you,
all the time in the world.
I know 4 guys who are going to be super into this slice right now.
She's facts. You are telling the truth.
Yeah.
I remember watching Magnum PI and thinking, those are shorts.
Yeah. There's a lot of car violence.
Yeah. Oh, my favorite, Knight Rider.
Oh.
Kit.
Done it.
No,
that was cool. I like Knight Rider.
Iconic.
Well, hey, listen, I'm a fan of anything David Hasselhoff does, so I'm in.
You can't even say Knight Rider without starting that.
Oh, that's the one.
I used to watch the Benny Hill show on my little black and white 3.5-inch TV, and I'd sneak it up in my bedroom and I'd watch the Benny.
Oddly, that theme song works for the Benny Hinn show as well.
Yes. Yes.
I still long for the day.
That's a great joke.
Where Nick and
I
I
couldn't get into that one, man. I just felt like this is too far. I don't get it.
Yeah, it's yeah.
Did you guys ever watch Gilligan's Island?
Yeah, of course. When I'd stay home and watch on repeat.
No, it was too.
Yeah, but
too much.
Here's the thing about Gilligan's Island is at some point the suspension of disbelief just went too far. When all of a sudden the Globetrotters crash land on the island,
and they can get off the island, but the originals can't.
What about
these fools made mansions? Make a boat. Make a boat.
It's all
exactly.
There are plot holes that they don't even worry about in the 80s, 70s, 80s.
They just gave up trying to explain it after a while.
Oh man, nostalgia.
Oh, come on, man.
Yeah,
just come on.
Here's another sitcom thing I wanted to talk to you guys about that used to happen, and it's about to happen again. Is when they would change a cast member. So a famous example is Vivian and Aunt Viv.
Oh yeah,
in Fresh Prince.
Yeah,
it's you show up one season to the next, and no one's acknowledging that Aunt Viv has changed. So when the woman who played the original Vivian was no longer on the show, it's not like they wrote off her character.
But she only made it one season.
Two or three.
But
she was 2 or 3, and Jazzy Jess actually acknowledged it. He was like, Aunt Viv, you look different. Yeah. Did you get a new hairstyle? I remember that.
As a kid watching the show, I remember the switch and remember thinking to myself, I bet the show got more popular than originally when she first signed on. Her agent probably made her play hardball for a massive raise, and the producer hardline said no. She called their bluff. I'm going to walk off the show. And they said, all right, okay.
New
and as a child, I'm watching this going, good for them.
Yeah, they
stand your ground.
Roseanne was the other famous one.
Roseanne's kid. The big one for me, going back to TGIF, was what happened to the third Winslow child?
Right. It was there for like 2 episodes.
She just
gone.
They just act like they didn't have a little sister.
Gone.
The same. I remember an episode of Boy Meets World where the sister left. The same thing. They had a sister, and it was like 3 seasons went by. They eventually brought her back, and there was like. One morning, a new little sister is at breakfast, and they make an offhanded joke like, "Oh, I haven't seen you in a while." She's like, "Oh, I've just been up in my room for the last 3 years." Ha ha ha! And that was it. It was like, okay, the writers get a free pass.
Like, all right, fine.
Back in the day, like the Dick Van Dyke Show, they had their son Richie. He would not show up for like 3 or 4 or 5 episodes in a row,
right?
And then they would have a family one, and he'd show up. And it's almost like, who's watching Richie if y'all are having this dinner party or this, that, whatever? But at least he existed.
Generally, yeah, there's a
in
Richie.
general. Or and then the days were like, oh, we need to kind of reboot the franchise a little bit. It's been 6-7 years, seasons now, that we bring in a cousin Oliver. We need a young spunky thing. I can get down with that.
You bring in Leo on Growing Pains.
That's right. I can get down with that. The fact that they would just swap out the same character is bizarre.
Hold on, was Leo Growing Pains or was he
Growing Pains?
Family Ties?
No, he's Growing Pains.
Growing Pains.
Yeah.
Who was the kid on Family Ties? They brought in a little kid on Family Ties too.
Yeah, but that's the cousin Oliver move. It was like some nephew that came up. But Leonardo DiCaprio got to start in Growing Pains.
That's right.
Yeah, with Robin Thicke's dad.
Yeah. But in a time when like a whole show's premise could be like, okay, so this just is about there's a talking horse. Like literally, that's
Mr.
the
Ed.
entire elevator pitch of Mr. Ed. It's a comedy because there's a horse that talks.
So there's this architect, and he has a lot of land, and he's got a horse barn. He's got a special horse named Mr. Ed. Get this. Talking horse.
Done. Green light.
Here's $2 million making the best show you
Winner.
can. Like so on the spectrum of like implausibility and weirdness, it's no big deal just to switch out a character with another actor. But why I wanted to bring that up is because I read some odd news this week that I kind of love, because I love that era of TV personally. Like it was just weird and nobody cared. Like continuity just did not matter. Like if it was in the same scene and Dr. Huxtable was wearing a different sweater on one of the cutbacks, no one would care. Like literally, they had no regard for continuity. So anyway, I think we made fun of this show a while ago when it first came out. The Kevin James comedy Kevin Can Wait on CBS.
Yes,
it's one of like just the generic laugh track 3-camera shows that CBS has tons of in their primetime comedy lineup. So the show, Kevin plays a character. Kevin James plays a character named Kevin, and it centers around the relationship with his wife, who on the show he's been married to for 20 years. Well, evidently, she has been written off the show in the off season. So the second main character of the show didn't even get like a send off. That she is being written off, and the character is being replaced by Leah Remini, who played his wife on King of Queens. So, but here's the thing: she was a guest star last season as like kind of like one of those stunt shows where a character comes in. So she didn't play like the characters from King of Queens, but she was just like a minor role in a past season. So now they're writing off the main wife, and they've announced that she is now going to co-star in this show. What? So it's kind of a question of like, how are they going to do this? Are they somehow going to like kill his wife off in the half season, in between season, and elevate her to the wife? It's a very strange scenario.
Is he going to just like get a job at UPS again? I mean, it's like
they should.
It's the same show.
Cameron, thank you. That should happen. And you know what? The whole premise should be that we've actually be seeing a foreshadow. Like, even though they look older, what we're seeing is what happened before they got together.
This is Better Call Saul for King of Queens.
You know it's a prequel. That before
then they pull
he
back.
became a UPS driver on King of Queens, he was married to this woman, and he was a retired cop. He met his wife's character, and she died between season. This is a prequel, and then all of a sudden it fast forwards. Now we're in new seasons of King of Queens.
So this makes
is the
sense.
kind of twist I'm
this
talking
makes sense
about.
why in King of Queens they're able to live in such a nice house, and he's just a UPS driver. Right. I know they make decent money, but it's because he's got his cop pension and the UPS income,
and he's probably collecting life insurance from the wife that's about to die.
Yep, I like it. Okay, so this is basically Better Call Saul.
his wife is so gorgeous, because I'm not the only guy that didn't have that had a crush on her, especially when she was on Saved by the Bell. Carry on.
That's right.
Oh yeah, the summer break spinoff, like it was like a 6-episode arc.
No, it was more than 6.
I was like, who is she?
No, it was like Summer House. Yeah, when they all spent the summer working out at the waterfront, kind of like
and she
club.
was like the Manor's, the innkeeper's daughter kind of situation.
You know what always bothered me was the idea that Lisa Turtle in that show would in any way be interested in Screech.
But they had to pair them all up. You can't leave. You can't have 4 and then 2 left over.
I understand that, but that just
and
never
they gave
felt.
him the black girl. The black girl got to get the nerd. See, I'm telling you.
This is what I'm saying.
I'm saying.
I mean, I think the whole point has been made. I always thought that was messed up.
It's totally messed up.
Can I tell you something that isn't messed up? We're just talking about continuity and just like old TV producers not caring.
I don't even know what this episode's going to be. What is this?
Okay.
What is this podcast
hold on,
episode?
real quick. I got to bring something else that has bothered me forever when we're talking about TV continuity. And like I said, TV producers just not caring at all is the basketball courts in old episodes of Fresh Prince. Like him and Carlton go to Bel Air High, and there's a couple episodes where they are playing basketball, the court isn't even a 3-quarter court.
No.
It is comically small.
It's a racquetball court. It is literally a racquetball court.
They're playing full court 5-on-5 basketball in a racquetball court. You're telling me this show was on NBC primetime?
Primetime.
When they the budget for this show was Will Smith was on the brink of becoming the biggest movie star in the world.
That's right.
You couldn't rent a gym. How much extra money did it cost to construct a racquetball-sized miniature basketball court?
As a kid, I have a theory. They needed Will and everybody to be able to dunk. And so they had to have the rims down at 7.5 feet. And to do that and everybody be to scale, everything be to scale, you have to shrink the court proportionally as well.
So they look like giants.
But it looks so much worse. I would have rather suspend my disbelief that the hoop is lowered or just shoot it from an angle. Like when a player rises to dunk, just shoot him from underhead and like it's a lowered hoop.
Right.
The amount of effort that went into your theory, I'm not saying it couldn't happen, but they were in the script writing. I mean, you're like, we're going to have to build an entire mini gym directly to the proportions of a 7.5-foot basketball from scratch. That's going to cost a fortune. They're like, he needs to be able to dunk and we need to shoot it on the wide shot. So figure it out.
Yep.
It has baffled me all these years.
Oh, classic.
All right. With that,
I think that's good.
We will wrap up.
Yeah. Let's just,
Everybody.
Slices.
This is a story all about how. Don't front like y'all don't know this lyrics.
All right, stay tuned. Up next, Hillsong United joins us.
I see the world in light. I see the world in wonder. I see the world in light, bursting in living color. I see the world your way, and I'm walking in the light. I see the world in grace. I see the world in gospel. I see the world your way, and I'm walking in the light. I'm walking in the wonder. You're the wonder in the wild. Turning wilderness to wonder.
You're listening to our next guest, Hillsong United. It's their newest single, Wonder, off their new album, Wonder. We'll get to that in a minute. This week's feature interview is brought to you by Warby Parker. Warby Parker was founded with a rebellious spirit and a lofty goal to create boutique quality eyewear at a revolutionary price point. Prescription eyewear shouldn't cost you more than a plane ticket or a new iPhone. By circumventing traditional channels and engaging with customers directly through their website and retail stores, Warby Parker is able to provide high-quality, good-looking prescription eyewear at a fraction of the price. Glasses start at just $95, including the prescription lenses. And for every pair of glasses sold, a pair is distributed to someone in need. There's almost 1 billion people worldwide that lack access to glasses, which, if they need them, it would probably make it hard to get education and get a job. So They're doing amazing work. I am personally a longtime fan and customer of Warby Parker and couldn't recommend the company more highly. Their customer service is amazing. And my favorite thing about it, though, is they do a home try-on kit for free. So the other night, I was actually just thinking, like, I maybe check out some new lenses, maybe some prescription sunglasses for the summer.
Love 'em.
Went onto the website and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, selected 5 lenses and hit submit. I put in my address and they ship them to me for free. I get them for a week. I can try them on and then they give me the label to send it back. And then I can choose the glasses that I want based on what they actually look like and feel like.
I love Warby Parker.
Yeah. And I love it. So there you go.
I can't really fathom not using Warby Parker to buy glasses.
You can go to warbyparker.com/relevant to order your free home try-ons today. Choose the 5 frames you'd like to try on, mail the frames back, then choose your favorite pairs to have your prescription added to it and order. Warby Parker makes your experience completely risk-free and free shipping all around. Remember, go to warbyparker.com/relevant to begin your free home try-on experience today. Well, today, June 9th, Hillsong United released their brand new album, Wonder, that brings together big praise anthems with heartfelt worship ballads. We recently talked with the group about the new album, some of its highlights, and the inspiration behind it. Here is Hillsong United.
One of the scriptures that really kind of served to frame the album was just actually 1 Corinthians 13, the whole thing. And I've always, that passage of scripture is very well known. You hear it at weddings and all the rest of it. I've always kind of been challenged and inspired by the first part where it talks about, if we speak with tongues of angels and, know all, have a knowledge and prophesy, blah, 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 but we don't have love. It's nothing but a clanging gong or a cymbal. And if we don't have love, it's nothing but noise. And so that's always challenged me because we make a lot of noise, we clang a lot of cymbals. And, the second part we know very well, love is patient, love is kind, doesn't envy, all that kind of stuff. And then the third part, though, is one that I've never really dived into. And the more we kind of went along this journey, the more it kind of just started coming to life. I think a lot of it's got to do with, I've got a 3.5-year-old son who I love, and I love the way he looks at the world. And it's reminded me of the way I used to look at the world. And I think it reminds me of, sometimes the imagination that we've lost in time and experience and just getting older. And my son doesn't know what's going on in the world. He trusts me and he trusts his mom and he loves life and he makes the best of everything, and everything he looks at is the best thing he's ever seen. And I'm like, man, we need to live like that again. Like when do we lose that and how do we get it back? And I think the whole premise of faith, the whole premise of following Jesus is a realization that he opens our eyes in a new way.
See the shape of your heart, where the margins collide. There's a life hanging over me, where your love crossed the line.
What I feel like God's been revealing to me, and especially through these songs, is this idea that as long as we're here on earth, we're children. Like our job is to mature and to grow and to continue to grow, and to see the world the way that God wants us to see it. But having said that, we should never lose our childlike wonder, because at the end of the day, we're children, and when we stand face to face, knowing Him and being fully known, then we'll see in maturity that actually of our lives all that mattered was love. So there's a couple of songs on there that really touch on that.
When as you speak, 100 billion creatures catch your breath, evolving in pursuit of what you
song called So Will I, in parenthesis 100 billion times. And, I think it's sometimes so hard for us to put a measure on God and just the infinite nature of what he does. What I love about the song is it comes down to the last refrain. It's all about response. It's like, you've done this 100 billion times, you've done this 100 billion times, and so will I. At the end of the day, though, the entire beauty of what we do as believers, the relationship we have with God is one where it's always about the one. It's a one-on-one thing, and we can so often lose ourselves and lose our purpose and lose our identity in the magnitude of the problems, in the magnitude of the crowd, in the magnitude of everything that's going on. And yet this song comes down at the very end, and it says after all this different stuff, you saved us and you would do it again 100 billion times, but what measure can amount to your desire? You're the one who never leaves the one behind. And to me, that sums up how beautiful it is that for God's ability to love all 8 billion people on planet Earth right now the same, he still cares intimately and infinitely about every single one of us. And I think that's something that we need to remember for ourselves, but it should be something that's reflected in the way that we view other people.
All this time, like a river running through my veins, you carried me all this time.
That was our friends, Hillsong United. Stay tuned. Up next, Micah challenges Jason Fileta. You're listening to Halsey. The song is Bad at Love, which was, interestingly, my high school nickname.
Hi-yo.
Yep. The Micah Challenge is a global Christian campaign to end extreme poverty and works to mobilize Christians to end extreme poverty through changing attitudes, behavior, and policies that perpetuate injustice. We recently spoke with the group's executive director, Jason Fileta, about why climate change is such an important part of their campaign, the environment's links to poverty and the refugee crisis, the Paris Climate Agreement, and how Christians can get involved. Timely interview. Here is Jason Fileta.
I wanted to talk a little bit about the mission of the Micah Challenge to eliminate extreme poverty, but then also for a lot of people that may be unfamiliar, there is like a definite link between climate change and extreme poverty. So can you talk a little bit about the mission of the organization and how climate change plays into that?
Absolutely. So Micah Challenge is not the typical Christian organization that most people are familiar with when it comes to doing international work to end poverty. And what I mean by not typical is that we don't actually do community development, disaster relief, or things like that. However, we work closely with those folks, and especially with people doing that kind of work throughout Africa, Latin America, and Asia. And Micah Challenge's unique role is that a lot of those people and pastors recognize that the work they do is simply not influenced by what they're able to do. It's influenced by these larger decisions and systems and structures made by governments and bodies like the UN and just those types of systemic decisions or policy decisions impact their ability to do things like get people food or literacy programs or maternal health programs or whatever it might be. And so Micah Challenge was sort of a result of that recognition, at the same time recognizing, wow, there's this whole piece of engaging with the poor and with injustice in Scripture that has to do with policy making and just challenging unjust structures that we as a church haven't really done a lot of in the last 50 years, 25 years, minus, of course, unique moments like the civil rights movement in America, some of the church's activity during apartheid in South Africa. So anyway, Micah Challenge does what we define as advocacy to end extreme poverty. And so we define advocacy as challenging ourselves, our leaders, to change attitudes, behaviors and policies that perpetuate injustice. And so, with all that said, we really have focused on human issues. We focused on HIV and AIDS. We did a large campaign over a couple of years on the issue of corruption in government and that sort of thing. And we did campaigns on malaria and what you just typically think of as like human issues. And then it was a couple years ago where climate change really rose to the surface as, oh my goodness, this is a human issue. And for me, it was eye-opening. Like personally, I wasn't that passionate about climate change until I heard directly from a farmer in Uganda how difficult it was becoming to grow crops, to predict when the rain would come, and how climate change was literally impacting his ability to feed his family. And so as an organization, we really prayed about it, thought through it, did a lot of research, and decided that, yeah, this is a really felt issue that is real and impacting millions of people's lives right now. The very same people that we have been trying to work with for the last, 12 or 13 years. And so if we want to take seriously our mission to end extreme poverty, we have to address climate change.
For a lot of people, especially in like parts of the Western world, the idea of climate change, is even for them like a bit nebulous in that they hear like there could be sea level rise, or the different species could be facing threat and different coastal areas are under threat. But in terms of like their day-to-day life, it still seems like a threat that's kind of hard to materialize. But you talked about a farmer in Uganda who can't actually support and feed his family. What are some of the other threats that people who are among the most vulnerable are receiving because of climate change right now?
Yeah, absolutely. That's a very good question. And just to point out, like one of the things that's sad to me now that I'm a part of this whole climate action movement is realizing that there has not been a whole lot of discussion or campaigning done on these very issues. Like climate change has been solely communicated about as a abstract thing or as a polar bear thing. Yeah. And don't get me wrong, like I love polar bears, totally. But I've been shocked at how little this information has been out there. So I'm really thankful you're asking.
Yeah.
So some of the other just felt needs that have arisen because of climate change. I talked to a water engineer from Compassion International who works in Kenya, and he's told me how they've lost 3 wells in the last couple of years because where they built these wells was supposed to be safe from landslides, safe from mudslides up in the hills. And because of climate change and unpredictable rain patterns and more fierce rain when it does fall, they've now had 3 wells washed out by mudslides. That's the kind of impact that you kind of can't see until it happens, where erratic rain patterns or droughts or whatever they may be, when rain comes, it comes really hard and does things like wash out homes, wash out wells, contaminates people's drinking water. I was just recently on the phone with some of our partners in Peru, and we were talking about a campaign that we're working on together. And while we were actually on the phone, they were facing huge landslides in Peru due to more intense and heavy rains that are attributed to climate change, simply because as things get hotter, more water evaporates. So there's just a whole lot more rain coming down because of water simply evaporating more. And they were dealing with landslides, people losing their homes, that sort of thing. So really like water and food are 2 of the biggest ones. But migration is also another huge issue. As land that people have maybe lived on and farmed for a long time becomes unpredictable and unstable as far as generating food, people move. And with migration, there's always all kinds of sort of waterfall impacts of things that happen. People are more vulnerable to things. I spoke with an organization that identified and that works with trafficking victims, and they identified that a number of these people fell victim to labor trafficking had become victims simply because they left where they traditionally grew food for themselves in search of something better because it had become too unreliable, and in the end got pulled into labor trafficking. And so it's a very complex issue, climate change and how it impacts vulnerable people. We don't often have the patience to learn about complexities. We want to hear like a very simple problem with a very simple solution. And unfortunately, this is not one of those. But I guess what I have learned over the last few years of working on climate change is that this is a very, very real thing that impacts the lives of poor people, minorities. It impacts the lives of already vulnerable people across the world and in the United States. And I just feel this commitment and this duty to try and do whatever I can to address it. And I think that those in the church who learn the things that I've been fortunate enough to learn and see those things feel very similar. And so that gives me a lot of hope.
Last week, there was obviously the big announcement that the United States would be pulling out of the Paris Climate Agreement. As someone who, was in Paris while a lot of this was being discussed, can you talk a little bit about maybe some misconceptions that you've heard about that and just kind of maybe inform the audience of what the Paris Climate Agreement is and what the impact of pulling out of it could potentially be?
So being in Paris while this agreement was being written and agreed to and signed was a really awesome experience. To be honest, it felt like something historic. It felt like, oh yeah, this is going to be a thing that people know about for generations to come, because this is the moment when the leaders of the world come together finally to address climate change. And it felt really incredible to be there and to be a part of all of that. And so some of the misconceptions, I would say, are that anything to do with the UN and any kinds of treaties or agreements that we sign with the UN, and this is broad, not just the Paris Agreement, but there's a number of them, an arms treaty that came up a couple years ago and a few others. There's this huge misconception that the UN can legally enforce those agreements on our nation. And so, for example, people thought that with the Paris Agreement, that the United Nations would actually be overseeing our government and we would be paying taxes directly to the United Nations to help them solve climate change and these kinds of things. And that's just totally not true. That's not how it works. I think another huge misconception is that there's been a lot of negative press, and the president directly addressed this piece of the agreement where countries in the global north, and that refers to like countries that have already basically had a huge carbon footprint, countries that developed at the expense of the environment, have a commitment to help poorer nations develop differently, to do things differently, to develop renewable energy instead. And so it's a commitment of money from developed nations to go overseas to help other nations like keep their promise in the Paris Agreement and to therefore become more resilient. So things that the Green Climate Fund, that's where the money is being given and distributed from. The Green Climate Fund does things like fund irrigation systems in India to help farmers have access to water because of drought they're experiencing because of climate change. The Green Climate Fund helps train farmers in, Zambia, learning new farming techniques to adapt to the changing climate and become more resilient and grow different kinds of food given that climate change is happening. And so it's actually a really good program, but there's this huge misconception that it's incredibly expensive, that it's a bad deal, that the money just gets pocketed. And, I don't know, people have this idea that when our nation agrees to things like this, they imagine the president throwing a black backpack full of cash out of a helicopter to a warlord. And that's just not how it goes. And so, yeah, I think that is a big misconception, just how expensive this would be. That was one of the big talking points, like how much money our nation would have to spend helping poorer nations adapt to climate change. And literally the concept that we could save a huge amount of money because we need it here at home by no longer keeping that commitment is sort of like saying you want to lose weight by cutting your hair. It's just not going to solve your problem. And it matters whether or not the United States, as the federal government of the United States, is a part of this treaty. Because what we've seen historically is that when countries come together to try and do something big like this, the United States is kind of the tipping point for the rest of the world. We saw this with you may remember something called the Kyoto Protocol, and that was another attempt at trying to combat climate change and pollution. And the fact that the United States wasn't bought into it made it really easy for other countries to say, well, if they're not doing it, we're not doing it. And with climate change in particular, it's important for our nation to be a leader simply because for a long time we were the greatest emitter of CO2 emissions, but now we're the second or third, depending on who you ask. But it's a problem that we were very much involved in causing, but also we still have this standing as a nation that other people want to be on our side. Other countries want to do what we want to do. And so it sends a really important message. It sent a really important message when the United States was a part of this and was contributing to the Green Climate Fund, which is a part of the Paris Agreement. And it likewise sends a really important message that we're not a part of it.
If people want to learn more about the issue, about the work of Micah Challenge, is the best place to go to micahchallengeusa.org?
Yeah, and if you specifically want to know what actions you can take, you can go to micahchallengeusa.org/climate. And there are some actions you can take. We have a pretty cool video of some of our friends like Science Mike and William Matthews and Jonathan Martin and a few other people, Michael Gungor, Caitlin Beatty. And we took them to DC to really have this experience of talking to members of Congress about climate change and urging them to take action. So we took a video of them calling their own members of Congress to show how easy it is and that it's not scary and that it's a good thing to do. So if you go to that webpage, you'll see how you can participate in that. There's also a link to the film we made about the Paris Climate Agreement. We filmed it at the Paris Summit at the UN meeting. And so that film is a really great resource. It's short. It's not heavy-handed. It's not going to condemn people. It's really just filming a handful of Christian artists who we know and who we respect. We're filming them learning about climate change. And it's just very straightforward, and it's a good introductory resource if you want to show this film to friends or family or even in a church.
That was Jason Fileta. Stay tuned. Up next, feedback. You're listening to Radiohead. The song is I Promise from their album OK Computer, OK Not OK, 1997 to 2017. It is a 20-year anniversary of OK Computer.
Can't believe
which
it.
was among my favorites. Yeah, OK Computer and Kid A. Radiohead.
Those are the two.
Yeah. I love
Those
that
are
era.
definitely the two.
And they're basically doing a part 2 of OK Computer, which like
they can.
If you weren't as much a fan of their kind of bizarre stuff in the last 10 years, and artistically it was amazing, but like maybe it wasn't the album you want to pop on and just
not exactly accessible.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. OK Computer.
Chandler.
This is them going back and kind of doing a part 2. This is the new Aunt Viv.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? This is the first one. This is the new Kevin James's wife.
Oh man.
Yeah, of Radiohead.
That's interesting.
Wow.
What that
with
means.
OK Computer, I don't know.
But that does. Yeah, I think you got something.
I was a late bloomer to Radiohead because you remember, there was a time in your development where like black people didn't stray very far from what we considered black music, and so I was a late bloomer, and I just remember accidentally stumbling upon OK Computer and being like, What have I been missing?
Yeah.
You know what though?
Yeah.
You discovering Radiohead or discovering OK Computer is like an indie kid, a hipster kid discovering Jay Dilla. How did I not know this existed?
Yeah.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Yeah. There you go.
It's true.
All right. It's time for your feedback. Before we do feedback, we do corrections and apologies. I actually would like to apologize for playing the dance song 57 times last week because that was me.
I don't think you should apologize.
I shouldn't?
No, I called.
I said that earlier.
I said the
Do
song
not
out loud.
apologize
You
for that.
played it, and then you played it 49 more times.
Okay.
This is your job.
Great. All right. I just thought it was really funny.
Yeah, I thought it was great. Play it
That
again.
was funny too.
All right. So it's time for your feedback. Last week, we asked you for your funniest accidental autocorrect story. We were just, I don't even know why we were talking about that, but that's the question.
Yeah, either way, there were some funny responses.
Yeah, there you go. You guys hit us up on the podcast episode page at relevantmagazine.com, and you also tweeted at us. There's a couple of tweets we can't read, but here are a few of our favorites.
Well, let me just say this. There's some of these we can't read. There's one that's too funny not to, but I'm going to throw a disclaimer. So in case you got one of the little ears, you can turn it down for like 10 seconds, but that's not this one. So Eric Odom said, I guess like jokingly, he was texting someone, I hope you die, which is a weird thing to text someone, but it all worked out because he claims it auto-corrected to I hope you dance, and the recipient happened to be very inspired by the text, so that's good.
Eddie, are you going to read the Young Life one?
No. I don't think I can read that one.
Yeah, I don't think we can read that one either.
I read it too because I was like, Young Life.
Young Life.
No.
You can't ever text that to a Young Life kid.
I don't want them to be
Okay, speaking
fired.
of that, I'm going to read one that is borderline inappropriate. So if you have little ears, it's not like I'm going to swear or anything, but if you're uncomfortable with them, mute it for like 20 seconds and come back on. As a teacher, I have, so she's a teacher. I was teaching a 6th grade Christian studies class, and I signed a paper summarizing Paul's experience on one of his missionary journeys. One of the poor students filled out an entire page by asking about Paul going to reach all of the genitals instead of the Gentiles.
That's funny.
It was hard. I can't. This was an interesting question because I'm done. I can't read any of the rest.
You can't read any of them.
But it was by far the most entertaining.
Yeah, for us to read.
Yeah, they were great.
We just can't say them.
So
yeah,
people should go. And
you should go and do a search on our timeline for @Relevant Podcast and then check that out. It's really funny. And look for the one about noon. Yeah. Just look for the one about noon. That's my favorite.
I don't know how this one happened real quick. That his dad was texting his business partner, and his phone somehow auto-corrected the name Gary to the word fart. How does that happen?
Because
you can go
by the F.
If you can get
Y's by the
a
T.
friend's phone or your mom's phone or something like that, you can put in there.
Yeah.
Change this word to that word in the system settings. And so there's all these pranks where kids did that to their moms and she's like freaking out because she's trying to type their name and it changes it to a curse word and she didn't know why it's happening. And
right.
Some of those are really funny, but
dude, there's another one that I don't, some of these I can't read. They're hilarious. But let's just say the phrase rhetorical analysis got cut off 4 letters too short.
Yeah. Oh, no. All right. Well, go check out last week's feedback. It's time for this week's
editorial question of the week. Hey.
Well, earlier we were talking about TV shows for some reason. And that, of course, Jesse, he's been waiting 11 years for this moment to bring up his his longtime frustration with the slightly small basketball court from the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Goodness.
No, it's dramatically small, Cameron. Do you need a reminder? I can send you some clips.
No, I know. It's a racquetball court, man. I know.
Yeah, we got it.
But
we got it.
It got us thinking. We want to know from you things from shows or movies that you saw growing up or even recently that were either they swapped out Aunt Viv or they, shrunk the cord or they did things that TV shows and movies did that you can't unsee and kind of ruin the thing for you.
Yeah.
Right.
Or Eddie's Lisa and Screech thing.
Right.
Like, come on.
That's never going to happen.
Yeah, that's never
Here's
gonna
another example. I used to love Family Matters. It was like one of my favorite shows. The Stefan Urkel sci-fi twist.
Messed up.
Done.
I'm not going to believe it. He didn't build a machine that mutates his genes in the basement. I'm sorry. This was not a sci-fi show.
Here's why I respected it, though. It's the reverse Aunt Viv. I think the star of the show was Jamal White, right? He knew
the star. Yeah,
he knew that he was the guy. He comes up for contract renewal. He's like, I'm getting out of my puberty age. I'm not a cute little dweeby nerd. I want to show that I'm a real actor. I'm going to show my range. I want an alter ego, and they're like, no, that's ridiculous. And he's like, alter ego or I'm walking. And they said, fine, you're Stefan Urkel. And I think he strong-armed the showrunners into doing it.
He was pretty smooth.
To show I can be non-Urkel.
Oh, he was cool.
Yeah, little piece of trivia about him and Eddie and his little brother Spider. I don't know if y'all remember the episode Spider.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So they were all related. They actually went to West Covina. They went to high school in West Covina and Nogales High. I played against Eddie's little brother Spider. That dude can hoop, and so can Steve Urkel. Them dudes can hoop.
Well, Steve Urkel right now is a sports journalist. That's his actual career.
Well, this is all very interesting.
Jaleel White.
Good for him. I'm disappointed
Propaganda.
back in that era there weren't more Harry and the Henderson crossover episodes. I would have loved to seen it.
Harry and the Hendersons. No, that was airtight. Nothing wrong with that.
They
show.
have the whole sitcom is a Sasquatch that lives in the backyard.
Right. It's absolutely perfect.
Yeah. All right. So we want to know those things that TV shows and movies did that have gotten on your skin. You can't unsee it and kind of ruin the thing for you. Hit us up on Twitter at Relevant Podcast. You can also post yours on the podcast episode page at relevantmagazine.com.
Can I ask a quick question? Am I imagining this plot or did it really happen? Was there an episode of Harry and the Hendersons where the dad got sick and Harry, the Sasquatch that is living in their backyard, had to go to work for him in disguise? Did that happen or am I imagining?
Well, it happened in real life.
Or is that a spec script that I wrote for the show?
That's a spec
can't
script.
remember.
I think that's in your dream journal.
Spec script.
I think it's volume 3 of your dream journal that one happened. Many thanks to our show's sponsors for making this episode possible. Remember, you can get $30 off your first week of deliveries by visiting HelloFresh.com and entering offer code relevant30 when you subscribe. I would highly recommend it. Also to Warby Parker, you can head over to warbyparker.com/relevant to order your free home try-on pairs today. Love Warby Parker. Great value, great style, and they always donate a pair of glasses to someone in need when you buy a pair. So I love supporting companies that do great stuff, and I love that they support this show, so please go support them. Many thanks to our guests for joining us. Hillsong United's new album, Wonder, is out today. Go get it. Also, thanks to Jason Fileta from Micah Challenge. You can learn more about their work and get engaged at micahchallengeusa.org. Relevant Podcast Network shows are in full swing. Shauna Niequist show, the Red Couch Podcast with Propaganda and Alma.
So good.
The New Activist is in full swing now. We got 2 of the 3 here with us. We just missing Shauna. We would have had the whole network here.
The whole deal. It would have been like a big crossover episode.
Go over to where you... It really would have been.
Podcast.
We could have plotted it like someone else. Yeah. And we have a lot more shows in the pipeline throughout the year, so stay tuned. You can find out about all the shows and these shows by going over to relevantmagazine.com/podcast. Hey, and while you're there at the site, subscribe to Relevant. You can get, I think it's 25% off right now. I think we're extended the Memorial Day sale. So we love the support, and I think you'll like the magazine. On that note, we'll wrap it up. I'm Cameron Strang.
I'm Eddie Koffoltz.
I'm Chandler Strang.
I'm Jesse Carey.
I'm Propaganda.
We'll see you next week.
I cannot tell who is my friend. I need distance between me and them. Gonna have to teach me how to love you again. God knows I'm trying. God knows I'm trying for you. God knows I'm trying.
Thank you for listening to the Relevant Podcast. If you like what you heard, be sure to leave us a review on iTunes. Check out other shows from the Relevant Podcast Network in the podcast section at relevantmagazine.com. And while you're there, browse exclusive podcast merchandise at our online store. Make sure to subscribe to Relevant Magazine. Info is available at relevantmagazine.com/subscribe.
I seen some girls turn their back on their best friend from time. I heard you say things that you can't take back, girl, no time. I need you to go easy now and fix up one time. I cannot tell who is my friend. I need distance between me and them.
And they need the riot gear because every once in a while we'll catch one right in the plexiglass face and it's disgusting.